Ah, the Omega Ruby drought setting in on the water routes as the Pelipper fly by and the trumpets blare.
There's so much to talk about in Hoenn, but at this point, really what I want to focus on is Mega Evolution and Primal Reversion. It has absolutely been confirmed that Groudon and Kyogre have new forms, known as Primal Reversions, which is like reverting to a prehistoric state. Which is interesting because it makes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire make sense to say, because Alpha comes before Omega in the Greek alphabet, but if you do it in reverse, it's like the Primal Reversion, so that actually makes sense. These new forms, Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, Groudon gets a new type. It gets Fire Ground, which is kind of what I always imagined it to be whenever I was little, which is kind of great. And also because they're primal, it brings up another interesting thing. If you look back at Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and I believe Sky, you fight Primal Dialga as a boss. This pretty much confirms that Groudon and Kyogre are definitely not the only Primal Reversions we'll ever see. And I think someday we'll be able to control Primal Dialga, and at least definitely Primal Rayquaza. There may be more Pokemon that are capable of doing this, but I really doubt that we'll see anything outside of the legendaries in this game at least. As for Mega Evolutions, so far it has definitely now been confirmed that we will get more evolutions than just the starters and legendaries, with the reveal of Mega Sableye at E3. So, let's talk about what Mega Evolutions are most likely to appear in the game. First, I definitely think there will be a Mega Metagross of some sort. If Steven Stone is the champion, it would only make sense for him to use Mega Metagross as his Mega Pokemon. That's a tongue twister for sure. Even though it's been confirmed that he has a Mega Charizard that he uses at some point. Because Metagross has always been his main, and I just don't see him using a Charizard in the final champion battle. Even if he isn't the champion, there's still the possibility of him appearing at Meteor Falls, and there's the Beldum he gives you after you beat the game, which could potentially be holding a Mega Stone. If Steven isn't the champion, I really think there's a good possibility of Mega Milotic coming from Wallace, because he's the next choice for champion, obviously. You'll definitely notice on Maxie and Archie's new design, Mega Evolution capable accessories that they have. And I'm not sure if this is going to be entirely used for Primal Kyogre and Groudon, but if it's not exclusively for those, I could definitely see a Mega Camerupt and Mega Sharpedo coming based on their main Pokemon. Wally, who I consider to be the true rival in this game, has always been known for having a main Gardevoir. With Gardevoir's Mega already announced, I think Wally might actually change over to Gallade, and we might get a chance to see a Mega Gallade. But that's just wishful thinking. And this may be a major long shot, but I could see Kecleon happening. Because after the Kecleon event where you get the Stethoscope in-game, Steven Stone comes up to you. It could be very possible for him to be holding Kecleonite. Also, I have an interesting theory about starters. In X and Y, we did get the Mega Evolutions of the Kanto starters. And if you look at the rest of the Mega Evolutionary list, we got mostly Hoenn Pokemon and Kanto Pokemon. And I think they gave us the Kanto Pokemon in X and Y because they're going to continue to roll out Megas in every new game that gets released from now on. In the September Nintendo Direct last year, they stated that someday they wanted to see a Mega Evolution of every final evolved Pokemon, which is a statement that can definitely be taken as a grain of salt because that's the only time that it was ever mentioned, but I could definitely see it as a plan for the near future. Now, I don't think we're ever going to get Fire Red and Leaf Green remakes, or at least not in the near future. So that's one of the reasons why they rolled out so many Kanto Mega Evolutions. And they rolled out so many Hoenn Mega Evolutions in X and Y as a hint at Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, especially with Mawile getting one and Sableye not getting one, kind of hinting at the counterpart eventually going to get one. And in Emerald version, once you complete the regional Pokedex, Professor Birch gives you one of the Johto starters. I think it's very possible we might see the Johto starter Mega Evolutions in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire after you beat the game. Or they could reorder it and put that event in there somewhere. So we could be getting Mega Meganium, which is one of the best names ever, Typhlosion and Feraligatr in the new games, but that's just some speculation. Also, we can't discount the possibilities of more Gen 1 and Gen 2 Megas during this game, because the Hoenn Pokédex centers around
all 3 generations in a very condensed form. So we could very well see some very surprising megas, like Mega Girafarig or other weird things that appear in the Hoenn Pokédex. Now on my impractical mega wish list, here are the Hoenn Pokemon that I'd really like to see get mega evolutions. I'd like to see Claydol get one, just because Claydol is awesome. Glalie, because it took me forever to find one my first playthrough and it needs something better for it. Tropius, because it's such an awesome Pokemon with such little potential right now. Yeah, that's all the speculation I have right now. I'm not going to be following the news, and especially the leaks about the game, very closely, because I kind of like to keep the games as a surprise when they come out instead of having other people playing the game ruin it for me. And that's kind of what I did with X and Y. I made sure I didn't check any news after October 1st. So I may not have too many news or speculation videos, but I'll be sure to make a couple, especially since the release is so far away right now. Now I'm going to probably go play some Mario Kart and patiently wait for November 21st, because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are going to definitely be awesome, no matter which way megas are put in the game and which aren't.